Hey babes, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, it's Shesyourfave, and if you're not new here, hey girl, what's up? Thank you for watching one more time, and thank you so much for all of the comments left in the previous video. Like, I love it here. I'm living for the engagement, and we are back with something new, something I've never really done before. I don't like to discuss my personal life. It's not something that I love showcasing, especially when it comes to dating, because girl, the more private the better. This is just pretty much what dating taught me. Let's start with a little backstory. I am 23. I just got out of the most serious relationship I've ever had in my life. In January of 2022, I was single for a while, chilling. I started talking to somebody, and like, we were dating pretty much, and then I started talking to somebody else, and then we were dating also, and then somebody else, and like, these people never stopped coming around for real, and I just never stopped entertaining it. So as for right now, I'm not together with anyone exclusively. I am just single as a Pringle, and I'm out here exploring my options, and I feel like this is the right time to do that. You're mentally at that point where you just want to explore and eventually settle down with somebody, whoever is ready for a commitment. But that's neither here nor there, and that isn't something I'm definitely not so focused on. This year also, I haven't really seen anybody that is like really serious. So hey, we move, sister. Use your 20s to make a little bit of mistakes. Use your 20s to just do some crazy shit that you don't ever really do, because it's your 20s. Have a ball. You will never get your 20s back. So let's jump into what dating taught me at 23. So being self-dependent is a good trait to have. I find that when you are like in a relationship, deeply in a relationship, you start to adapt certain traits, behaviors that your partner have. Their lingo becomes yours. Like, you eventually start to share things with each other, and you kind of become like codependent on each other, whatever it is that you necessarily need that codependency for. It could be a various amount of things, but learning to have your own, all your own, when you learn to do that, you're set up for success. You're self-dependent, you're able to self-soothe, you're able to think straight, you're able to just process and go about your day without necessarily needing someone with you along the whole day or along the way. Like, you're fine, you're okay. That is such a good trait to have, because in the nick of a dime, as I go, I don't even know the slang, but however that go, yeah, somebody can just leave you, somebody can just drop dead. You never know what can happen tomorrow, and you just have to be like so focused, for real. Never lose the sight of who you are, because it really plays a role in your character, like being self-dependent. And it brings me into point 2, which is, do not expect anything from anyone until you see it in your face. And it correlates to your trust is to be earned and not just thrown out there. So you need to ensure, or you need to make sure that all the stuff, all the statements being made, all the promises, all of that stuff is going in one ear and through the next. Okay? If you put somebody on such a high pedestal and every now and then they just don't come through, 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 my expectation for you is now down here. It's a turn off. Like, that is such a big turn off. And if your expectation was low from the jump, and the person is proving themselves, then maybe, just maybe, you'll eventually start trusting each other and building some sort of bond where they're gonna come through for you. But in general, don't try to expect all of these promises, everything to come through for you. Like, people are crazy and people are ass, okay? And this goes hand in hand with point number 3, which is if he lets you down more than 3 times, just expect a road of disappointment ahead. I can tell you the amount of times I've let somebody come back after doing something bad, let somebody come back after doing something bad, and then I look like Boo Boo the Fool when I'm thinking, okay, they probably won't do that same thing that they did to me before again, and they just end up doing it over and over again until you are the one to break the cycle. Because the more power you let somebody have over you, like, the worse it's gonna be for you. You're not gonna be able to come out of that situation if you let it slide 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times and you're not saying anything. You're not like really addressing the situation because you think you're too cool for school, or oh, we're just dating, it's no attachment, da 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 da, it don't mean nothing. Girl, if you don't have some standards, like, your standards have to be just up to par, because it's getting ridiculous now. Like, men are just out here treating 10s like 2s, and you wonder why that happens. Like, bitches don't be standing their ground, and I'm not going for that. We are not going for that all 2023. You need for have like a bucketive. You feel me? Like, stand up for yourself. And if you feel like this man is just playing your face, bye your life, good night. Like, see you next never. Do not make them boy walk over you like it's a red carpet. Yes, a red carpet? Oh, okay, I thought so. Now that we've understood that you need to have the standards, now you need to not place your eggs in one basket. Have options. That does not make you a hoe. You are not sleeping with all of these people. You are not telling all of these people you want to be serious with them. All, like, you guys have a agreement that we are dating. We don't want commitment right now. Whenever we feel like one of us wants commitment, then we'll put it on the table. And if that's just not the vibe for one other party, then, you know, like, it's cool. You could either break things off or move forward. It's up to you, whatever type of arrangement you are having with your partner. Like, you really have to have options, because if you don't have no option and you're just dating one person, yeah, they piss you off, there's no commitment. They turn you off, there's no arguing. They do some crazy shit. You can't say take accountability, because these people are not your partner for real. Like, you are just going out with them, having a good time with them. Just picture them as friends that you take more than serious, and you plan stuff on a romantic level, and you guys do romantic things together. Like, if you are open to having more than one partner, if you are mentally ready for that, I say do that. Because, girl, a lot of people don't talk about it enough. Like, one man can be just such a turn off that whole day, and you want to talk to somebody else, but you got to sit up in his face because that's the only person you're talking to. Have your options. You don't have to necessarily talk to these people every day. Like I said, it's no commitments. Like, you are not obligated to be messaging good morning, good night, good morning, good night. Like, you don't have to do all that. They not your bands. They a little, yeah. Oh my god, look at 23-year-old me. I know me in the future is gonna just look back at this and be like, this girl. But anyhow, I go into my next point, which is, it's okay to ask for things. I, at one point in my life, was so scared, was so self-dependent. Like, oh, I don't want to ask for nothing. Me an independent girl. Me get my own. Me do this, me do that, me do this, me do that. Let me tell you something where one of my auntie them tell me. Not auntie like biological, but auntie like friend mother. She say, if them a come clean out your okay, them have to give something. Somebody is literally out here taking up your time, taking up your energy, reserving time in your life that you could have been doing any other thing else with, and you sitting up here not asking for the things that you want. Girl, if you don't open up your mouth, and even if you're afraid to ask, just start at something small and work your way up. Nails, for instance, that's probably like the cheapest maintenance thing you could get. Babe, can you get my nails done? It's just that simple. Can you pay for my pedicure? Pedicure about $30. If the man where I dig out your nookie can't give you $30, he's not the man for you. Oh, you gonna sustain the household. Hypothetically speaking, if you guys become more serious, let's just use our heads now, girls. Like, you have to start asking for the things that you want for real. Point out little things. When y'all go to the mall, let him know what you like. Like, ask him, oh, let's go fragrance shopping. Let him see what you like. Let him smell what you like, and you do likewise. Because just as how you can't ask for things, he could probably ask for things too. And we're not saying go buy the most expensive things or whatever the case may be, but like, say for instance, y'all are at the store, he's pumping gas, and he says, babe, can you go in real quick and get me a water? Or like any little tiny thing, little gesture you feel like you want to pick up or do whenever randomly, because I don't suggest like constantly doing things for people, because that gonna move into my next point. But you know, like any little generous thing you feel like getting if he asks, then, or not necessarily money thing, but like if he asks you to run an errand for him or something, like, you know, like you can do that, like if you feel like you guys are at that point. Brings me into my next point, which is your job is to date, not to mother, not to girlfriend, not to wife. If you wanted a girlfriend and a wife, you wouldn't have been pushing this dating thing on for so long without asking, oh, let's be exclusive. Right now, y'all are not in a relationship. Your job is to date. Dating different people brings different things, and I hope you guys know that. When you guys are getting into these things, you guys talk about what it is that you guys want to do, and don't let things like be forced upon you. Speak, because you have a voice too. Don't just be all go with the flow, go with the flow. The flow ain't going nowhere, okay? The flow is just gonna keep going. So you need to be able to, like I've been saying, just stand your ground and know what you're looking for in or out of these dates. Whatever you get from these things, make sure that, you know, it stands on something, like it stands for something. You're not just, or maybe you can just date for fun. Do it for the fun of it if you feel like. But personally, me don't know what me I look for outside dating really. I just I do it because right now it's stuck in something I know I'm outside, and you know I'm just I drive, so you know, not necessarily going with the flow. But when I'm ready to settle down, like that's when I'll stop. I don't know when I'm ready to settle down, because I am not a date person. I don't just go out on dates and do all these things and go on date with him this week, go on date with him next week, or go on date with him Tuesday and then him Thursday. And obviously, like, you don't need to be like in sexual cahoots with these people. Like, you don't need to be doing all the nasties. Like, this can literally just be somebody on a lunch date, on a brunch date, on a day date, on a shopping date. Like, it could literally be anything. So don't go out of your way to do all of this nurturing stuff, to be checking in every 25 minutes. Like, let him breathe and let him have space. Let him miss you. Let him want to call you. Like, these days, I do not call nobody first. I rarely ever call somebody first. If I'm calling you first, I must really like you, or I must really have something important to talk about, or I feel lonely, or I feel like, you know, I just want to have a conversation. I'm in the house all day by myself, not speaking to anybody. Let me just check in, see what's up, and I'll call. But 8 times out of 10, I'm not calling nobody first. Like, if we date and you're watching this right now, just know you might be damn special. And anyhow, the last and final thing that I want to touch on is no communication isn't always bad, especially when it comes to dating. These are not your partners. There is no commitment. You don't need to be on their ass, on their line, checking in, being all mothering. That is the recipe for a rebellious teenager. Like, you need to learn how to give people space. A lot of space, too much space even, because at the end of the day, these are not your man, these are your little years. Okay, I just think that no communication thing is just like really mysterious. It just leaves space for the person to just have their mind wondering on what is she doing, why is she not on my line. Like, get a little mysteriousness, have a little vibes to yourself, and you can't just boring and daddy so like, get them something for think about. Let these minds ponder. So I think I've successfully gotten my points across. I only wrote like 7, and truthfully, this is just a topic that is not spoken about enough. And if I can help someone just as young and clueless as me, who is out here dating and probably not sure what the hell they're doing, like, let this just be somewhat of a guide. Like, I think I have a pretty decent dating pool. Like, it's nothing too crazy, nothing like, oh my god, this is a hoe. Like, we not gonna do all of that. But I definitely feel like I have options, and I don't necessarily rub that in everybody's face, but I'm just not here pretending to be, oh, just this pretty princess Rapunzel in a castle, and I just don't go anywhere with any other people. Like, no, you have to call it for what it is, and whoever vex and move, and whoever no vex, then them just a vibes. And yeah, so that is pretty much it for today's video. If you like this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and please go ahead and leave any dating advice that you have, because I do not have it all figured out, and I'm just 23. I'm Joe vibing. No, let's be serious. Like, I just started this whole dating thing just a couple months ago. I do not know the ins and outs, and these are just personal opinions and personal lessons that I've been seeing repeat themselves, so I have to teach myself how to avoid certain things, and you know, just to date, period. So don't forget to leave comments, don't forget to like, and if you like me so much, don't forget to subscribe. And that is pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Mwah. Bye babes.